Coach Simpson, another Saturday, another win for your team. That's 9 in a row, breaking the school record. You captured the OVC championship last Saturday with, I think, what many people would consider the most lopsided win of the season. Tennessee Tech 42-3. If you can, in just a few words, summarize everything that went right for the team, because there was quite a bit of it.
No, it certainly was. Well, first, just the compliments to our team and our coaching staffs for getting up and preparing, getting ready to play 9 weeks in a row, and so that's hard. That's hard to do in college football. So to have the energy, to have the focus, to have the not only the physicality, but the strain technique that we talked about, okay? So that was great. To get the run game going early, a couple long runs there to give us a lead there in I guess it was the second quarter, and, to get up, a couple scores, and, the defense to hold, I guess it was a missed field goal, then made field goal, and the limit touchdowns was big for us. So very pleased with that, and you get to halftime, and then the guys come back and finish out a second half. Not a good to see some young players get in there at the end there and add on a touchdown there. So it was good. It was a great day for us. Hard fought, long season. Now we move on to the next phase, but very, very proud of our kids, proud of the program.
You talked a little bit about focus just a minute ago, and now you've got a lot of different storylines coming in this last one. Talk about what the focus is going to be and how to keep them in a good state of mind for this last game.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's a couple ways to look at it. Well, really, there's only one way to look at it, if you ask me. And this team will have to, they've done everything I've asked them to do. Is that one, you're a competitor. You want to compete. You want to to win every time you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to win 10 games in a row, to get to 10 wins in a season. All right. Now the next phase of that is, if you win. And then can you get a top 8 seed? Okay, you're not going to get that if you lose. Okay, but if you win, you have an opportunity to to get the bye. So if we're serious about making a run in the playoffs, this is the next step of that. That'll be my message today.
What are the kids saying in the locker room? What kind of feedback are you getting from them in regards to their focus and what they're looking for?
I haven't seen them yet. They have yesterday off. It was a great locker room after the game. Like I said, John, these seniors done everything I've asked them to do. If I've given them a direction, they've taken that and carried it out. So, I wouldn't think it'd be any different. Okay, now we've got some injuries. We lost Big Chris Jackson, our left guard. That's the season-ending injury. That's tough on us. Okay, but it was good to get Zoe Roberts back, so that was good. And on defense, we're relatively healthy, and so we'll have to put it together again and figure out a way. But I'll have a better feel after this team meeting this afternoon. So and then of course we'll practice tonight.
Looking at SEMO, it's kind of an unprecedented situation, playing for the second time in the same season. So, is there any different way that you scout for that? Is there any different way you look at that, or anybody?
Yeah. It is kind of odd. It is different. It's a game we got up, but we only won by 8. It was a hard-fought game. They had a chance to win it there at the end. It's you're on the road. It's their senior day. It's their last opportunity. They got a chance to finish second in the league. They got a lot to play for. I've been in that situation before, and you're trying to get the best, out of your team. And I'm sure Coach Tuke will get that out of his team. So, you look at some things that worked, some things that didn't. And I think, even though it was only, 3.5 weeks ago or so. I guess they've had an open week and 2 games since then. You still your team keeps evolving with injuries or players that improve, players that may take a step back. So, every week's a new challenge, and up to this point, like I said, our kids have done a great job meeting that.
21 Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Weeks.
Oh, really?
Season. Have you ever feel like
Yeah.
the program would be at that position where you dominate the league that much?
Well, I don't know if I ever thought about it like that. Of course, with the numbers shrinking and 2 less teams, I guess that numerically helps you just on the numbers in itself. But no, and I tell you what, I was going through some, as today is all conference. you nominate your kids for all conference. And of course, we have a lot, but statistically, we won't have. There's not a whole lot of guys that lead in anything statistically. Our quarterback, who we consider is, I think, is the best in the league. I mean, he doesn't lead really in a whole lot of categories. Our running backs doesn't lead. Simo's got the top statistical running back, but our two, they're good players. We wouldn't trade them. Receivers were hurt, and that was documented the whole year. So Colton Dowell, I think, still leads us in receivers, and he probably hadn't played in 4 or 5 games. So it's a little bit different deal. I think we have a good football team. We got a good defense. We got a solid offense, and we play, which most championship teams do. You just kind of you figure out a way to get wins, and that this team's done that.
So about compare and contrast 06 to
Mm-hmm.
21. 06, your first year here at UT Martin, but this one, the 06 was yours.
Mm-hmm.
21, these were all your kids.
Yeah, no, I hadn't really thought about it like that. There is some comparison, though. I looked at the stats this morning. Both years that we've won the league, we were last in passing, even though I consider myself a skills coach, right? But no, what it goes back to is that both those years we had a good offensive line. Both those years we had good defense. Both those years, we had good running backs. So there's some correlation to that. And you're up in games late, and you're not having to just throw it around the yard and get some late scores, and your stats go up from there. So I think that's part of it too. Now I don't know if I've really even thought about it like that, but I had a lot of former players texting me over the weekend, guys that played on an 06 team, 08 team, 12 team, and there was different fields. The 06 kids were. A lot of correlations between this team and that team as far as the locker room and the leadership. Okay, 08 and 12, a couple close teams, right? A lot of, coach feel like that. I'm a part of that because we came up a little bit short than I think the 16 team did as well. So those kids that came up a little short, kind of living through these kids in that locker room, some of the foundation. Derek Carr in 2012, right? We talked about going to Tennessee Tech and dropping that game. So it's very satisfying to that those kids. They know what that locker room felt like, win or lose. They know what that locker room, the satisfaction. Those 6 kids know the satisfaction that comes with that. So a lot of cool experiences and relationships been built here.
You're probably going to have some more of those cool relationships over the next few days and weeks from not only the 06 guys, but probably even the 88 guys. I'm sure you've heard from some of them already.
Yeah, some of them were at the game, yeah.
And maybe even some of the Bob Carroll's bunch.
Like I said, a lot of texts, and I answer every one of them and appreciate every one of them because, it's been 16 years to string together, tradition. We talked about that when we first got here, 15 years ago about, there was some tough years, some tough lean years, okay? But to have a group that was close or a group to win it or a group that, fought hard to get to third, okay? And the consistency of that, it's not different formulas, different years, but it all comes back to, to people being healthy. And that's what I was telling the staff about today. The rings will signify this, that you managed and motivated a group of young men, young kids, to make sacrifices, all right, for others. You did, and so that's you don't get to do that a whole lot in your life, and it's good to be a part of that.
Coach, I'm sorry.
Go.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, 2 trophies on
Yeah.
Saturday. I know that OVC Trophy is important, but I know you're really happy to have the Starting Joe Trophy back here at UT Martin.
Yeah, I am. Like I said, I don't know what the future of it is. I guess we'll keep it going. Like I was kidding around last week about rewriting the rules of that, but we'll have a chance, hopefully, to keep it here going forward. But no, that's good. We need to get it back. It's certainly secondary to what we were trying to get done, but it's always been part of the mathematical part of the equation, in the conference race.
What was it like, to kind of follow up on Kevin's question a minute ago about Kevin Bannon, who's your offensive line coach, been here 10 years, was an all-conference player on that 06 team, and Devontae, and
Yeah.
Clifton, and
Yeah.
everybody in there that's coaching for you now. Well, specifically Kevin, what was it like having him celebrate that with you on Saturday?
Kevin's been here a long time with me, and not only, I think of Kevin as a colleague and as a friend and a very vital to this program. Done a great job since he's been here in multiple aspects of it. And I didn't really think about. Sometimes I forget about that he was a player here. To be quite honestly, because we spend a lot of daily time together, right? And my wife Julie, after the game, got us together to take a picture. So isn't this cool? A guy that played for you and won a conference championship. Now he's coached with you, and you get a conference championship together. So that was pretty neat to think of it, like that. But no, Kevin has done a great job here, and he's behind the scenes or in front of the scenes. People that know our program know him, and does a great job. And we've added Matt Jones to it in the last couple of years, and that's significant of our offensive line's growth as well.
Okay, I got one more.
Sure.
Sappy question.
No.
Your family has had a lot going on this
Yeah.
fall. Julie has been there the whole time. Watching her as the clock was ticking down Saturday was pretty neat.
Yeah.
For me, and I'm sure you too. What's she really meant to your family in this program?
No, that's pretty cool. Great question. I appreciate you asking that. I think every coach's wife is wired a little differently, right? There's a lot of sacrifices that all of our wives have to make with our careers. But in coaching, it's pretty unique because the bottom line, I may not see somebody in corporate America's bottom line, but people get to see our wins and losses, and that's how we're judged as being successful. So as a coach's wife, Julie's been able to see, the anguish of not winning other conference championships and coming close. She's been there when, and knows the situation over the years with budgets and different things that we tried to get done because, we felt like we were so close if we could, keep one more full-time coach or have a little bit more scholarship dollars, to keep growing this thing. And she's heard all those conversations and all. And so she was very excited, and that was really cool to see. And my kids too. I hated that Emma couldn't be there. They had basketball, but Graham and Ty have been on that sideline since they were little kids, and that meant a lot to me. Ty didn't have to come to that game. He could say, they had a big game Friday, but for him to be there and who knows, maybe the last one he gets to go to as his career, gets going. So I appreciate my family and really appreciate the opportunity, John, to be able to experience, my occupation, which is, also, part of our life. And so that's been really cool.